On that note, all rise and shout. It's time for What's Trending.
You're talking about it, and so are we. It's What's Trending on BYU Sports Nation.
Dave, we just talked about Jaren Hall and the most recent preseason nod with these preseason honors and accolades coming in. And the list is getting long, okay? You jokingly this morning called it the Magnificent Seven.
That's a big list.
Let's lay out the Magnificent Seven. He is on the preseason award watch list for the Maxwell Award, the Manning Award, the College Football Players Association National Performer of the Year Award, the Davey O'Brien Award, Walter Camp Player of the Year Award, the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award, which we just mentioned, and he's on the Reese's Senior Bowl Award watch list.
That's
Dave,
a lot of watching.
Seriously, a lot of eyes on Jaren Hall. How much pressure is on Jaren Hall and his shoulders now going into this season with all of these preseason nods? Because this is different than what we saw with Zach Wilson a couple of years ago.
You know, BYU put out a tweet yesterday of Hall mic'd up during the scrimmage, so you could kind of climb into his head as he leads the team around the field. And I watched it a couple of times. I'm like, I don't know if there's any pressure on him. He feels like he is right in his element, living the dream, and with full command as the leader on the field. Now, around it, as you read those lists and as fans talk, and then we create this, well, there has to be all this pressure because of all this stuff. But he appears to be in a really good place where it's like, here's the thing, I want all of that because I really want to be on one big list, which is the scout list coming up for the NFL draft.
So he's on it.
If these watch lists keep everybody watching, the real list he wants, the watch list he wants, is the draft list. And I think Zach had no accolades coming in. Didn't even know he was going to be the starting quarterback coming in.
Yeah, how about that? He was battling with the likes of Jaren Hall and Baylor Romney and others for that starting position.
COVID helped him a little bit because it took a lot of quarterbacks and sat him out. As BYU kept playing, other schools didn't. And so he's on TV every week. And he was great.
Lens.
And didn't play any P5s, but he played great. And, you know, $35 million later, it was like, that was a great season for him. But he didn't have near the hype that all the greats at BYU had to deal with. You know, but for Bosco, wins the national championship, he still had a senior season. Talk about hype. You won the national title, and now you're coming in. Detmer wins the Heisman, then he plays his senior season. Talk about hype and expectation. McMahon goes 12-1 as a junior, then he's got his next season. Steve Young, the same thing, and they all answered the bell. You can throw in Sarkisian and John Beck. And then when it came to time to get a job, everyone knew who they were.
Yeah, we've seen both sides of this. And you talk about John Beck and Steve Sarkisian. Sarkisian went 7-4 in 1995, but they felt like they were on the cusp of something special.
He finished really strong against Fresno State, and also was like, whoa.
So that one game kind of gave us a taste. We're like, okay, all right. But Sark didn't have this type of preseason accolades coming in. John Beck was kind of in a similar situation. Played well at times in 2005, but then 2006 kind of took that step forward. Yeah. But Jaren is like, to your point, Jaren is of the mentality that I don't feel like this type of stuff bothers him. I don't think he reads into it. I watched the same clip that you did yesterday a couple of times. He feels like he's in complete command. His team listens to him. They trust him. They respect him. They believe in him. He's just a different type of leader. And he's a different type of player than Zach Wilson. So I kind of feel like we're comparing apples and oranges. But also for Jaren's benefit, he has a ton of talent returning around him, specifically on the offensive line. And so while, yes, there is pressure to perform as the quarterback, it's the quarterback position. By nature, it carries pressure. But he's got so much talent around him, I think that they can help alleviate that, and they can carry some of that on their shoulders too.